Hello, and welcome back. Today we are going to talk about repetition control in Java. Repetition control is a mechanism of executing control statements in Java. It essentially means that the two kinds of where you uh, have controls, you have two families of control statement in Java. The first one is decision control statement, which helps you make decision, and the second one is repetition control statement. And what it essentially does is allows you to execute a block of code a number of times, or a different block of code a different number of times, and allow the user to specify how long to execute a specific block of code. So with that said, let's evaluate a basic form of repetition control statement called the for loops. Uh, the for loops have a specific algorithm, or a flowchart, how they execute. It's and what basically happens is when the program starts and enters a for loop, it initializes um, a control variable, and then we evaluate a control expression, and if the evaluation results in true, we go to the body of the loop and execute the body of the loop. After that statement, we increment the control variable and we re-evaluate it. And if it's still true, we still re-execute the block of code called the body of the loop. And if it's false, we exit the loop, and we go to the first statement after the loop. So essentially, in a nutshell, that's what goes on in a for loop. Now, the other two kinds of loops we will look at in the future videos are something called while loop and do while loop. So they are also some similar kind of repetition control structures, but with a different flowchart for how the logic is controlled. That said, let's look at the code example for a set of for loop in Java. In this case, we have a Java class with a driver method. Here, remember I told you about the repetition, about the initialization of control variable. Here it's an integer called I, and we're initializing it to value 0. And this is our control expression. And we basically check if this control expression is true, we execute the block of code. Here, let's see, the first run, i's value is 0. So we try to check if 0 is less than 10, which evaluates to true. So we're going to execute this block of code. Sorry, just give me a second. So we're going to execute this block of code in which we basically print out the value of I. And after that, the control goes back to this loop incrementer. You see I++, which increases the value of I, or increments it to more by 1. That's what the plus plus operator does over here. So the value of I is 1. It evaluates the state, this expression again, I less than 10. 1 less than 10 is still true. So we re-execute this block of code. Similarly, this goes on around for about 10 times. And after that, this statement over here evaluates to false, because i's value goes to about 11. 11 is not less than 10, therefore the control goes to the end of the loop. And that's how we essentially program a for loop in Java for repetition control mechanism.